Most guys don't fail because they know what to do. Truth is, most men fail because they don't stay consistent and don't have a system. Now, before you click away from this video, know that this is not any type of an in-depth AI tutorial, not sharing in-depth prompts and all of that happy horse shit. I'm simply going to show you the real system that I started using to get real results in my life and how I'm using it to start winning 2026 and everyday life before it even begins. So stick with me and let's get started. So here's the truth. At the start of this year, I really didn't use AI in my personal life. Yeah, I'd use it for work and I dabbled with it, kind of like as this new shiny toy that had come out that, seemed to be all the rage. But I wasn't using it in my personal life. Then at about end of July, early August, I watched this YouTube video from Dan Martell. It was something to the effect of like 6 ways to get ahead of like 99% of people using AI. And I kind of had an epiphany at that moment. I could use AI as a strategic partner in building systems in my life. So that's what I went to doing, is I started small and I kind of let the snowball just, and if you don't believe me, go and look at my channel. So before August or July, you can see a stark difference in my channel. You would see spurts of consistency. Honestly, my thumbnails sucked. My titles weren't much better, if they were better. And once I started using the AI, you can see the consistency improve. You can see the thumbnails, you can see the videos, the titles, the whole packaging. And I've also experienced this in my life as I've used it as a strategic partner to go and use it as a sounding board when I need some objectivity to facts, when I get that analysis paralysis like a lot of us do, something I'm super guilty of. So as you can see, you can use it to help build a system, and it's doing that for me and it's helping me win. So to build on this, AI was no longer this shiny gadget for me that I could ask it all kinds of crazy questions. It became a clarity engine for me. It almost became kind of like a micro executive assistant for my personal life. It helped me to build planning systems. I could go to it when I would be stuck on a decision. I mean, I could have the list go on and on. It basically became like a thinking partner, a second brain of sorts. Now I had to act on everything that I'm getting from it, but what it did is it didn't give me motivation, because I have a shitload of videos talking about how motivation fails. You need momentum. And that's exactly what AI did for me, was it's helped me build momentum in my life, in the YouTube channel, in my personal life. It's helped me process even personal dilemmas. So I might be sounding like I'm using it as like my best friend, my therapist, but it's been to help me gain clarity and to build my systems. And that's what it's gonna do for you. Now, let's quit screwing around and let's talk about a simple system that you can build today. And basically, I'm gonna kind of show you how I got started. Without further ado, let's get into this system. First thing, I use it for a weekly accountability session or check. Now, I can't tell you how many books I've read. I'm sure y'all have too. Watched a million YouTube videos, and they all tell you you need to have an accountability meeting. You read the 12-week year, they talk about the WHAM. And that's what I use. That's the first thing I use ChatGPT for, is I set up a weekly accountability session. And I'm not talking like an hour long. I literally, in fact, the one I did today took me 20 minutes. I go through my goals. I basically have it do a SWOT analysis for me. I say, all right, take what I logged from the last week. What did I do well? Where did I suck? What were my friction points? What can we do to unlock and make next week better? So I have it go through all this, and I set my priorities for the next week. I use it, of course, predominantly for this channel, but other personal shit too. And I go through, I take that hard look, I make my to-do lists, and I'm ready to rock and roll for the next week. I know what actions over the course of the week are going to have the biggest return on investment for my life to push me towards my goals. So that's the first thing, pick a day. It could be Sunday, could be Monday, Saturday, whatever. Like I say, my personal one, it's Monday mornings. I'm off on Monday. Wife's off to work, so it's a good quiet time. But yeah, just a simple 20 minutes, boom, you do that. This next piece of the system is where the magic happens. And it's using AI as an accountability engine. So what I mean by that is every day, I do this every day, you don't have to, but at least on a very regular interval through the week after you've done your 20-minute planning session, you jump in, you just flip the thing to voice mode, and you go through what you did for the day. And what this does is it builds external accountability. And that is so important. Pretty much every freaking YouTube guru or personal development guru, or author hits on external accountability. And this is where AI comes in. Because James Clear said, and I might have said this at the first of the video, but we don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. And this is where you're leveling up your system, is this daily accountability. You could do it more, a little bit less. I'll be honest, some days I probably jump in and go through my checklist a little bit more. And, last bit of the accountability is that you can also have it remind you of your top priority if you're procrastinating something. And that's something I've had it do, because we're all guilty of procrastination, right? But that external accountability, that's this next part of the system. So to continue to recap and keep building, we have 2 more pieces of this system. We've done our weekly planning session for 20 minutes. We're taking 2 minutes at the end of every day to do our accountability, but you can also use it as like a clarity engine. As I mentioned, one of the things that it's helped me do is that when I'm stuck on a decision, I go and I use it to help look at a problem objectively. And this is the next part of that system. We all have difficult decisions, both small and like life-changing. And it takes a lot to process and make that right decision, and you can feel pressured and overwhelmed. And you'll use ChatGPT to do this. You're going to go to it, just lay out all the facts and say, okay, and be honest and say, okay, here are my trip ups with making a decision. ChatGPT or Copilot, whatever you're using, AI will take all that and say, okay, let's break down the objective truths to this. It's not giving you an opinion per se and saying, go and do this all the time. It's saying, okay, if you're looking at it through this set of eyes, here are the things to consider. If this is the outcome over here you're after, instead, maybe you look at it from this perspective, and you get these perspectives. In fact, like hell, I even used it like yesterday where I was trying to make a decision and I was putting a hard deadline to making the decision, and even said, all right, like I can't stay on this decision and ponder it and overthink it forever. I literally need to push myself off the fence and make my decision now. And so I said, give me like the no BS way to approach it. And the thing spat out some questions that I could ask myself to put myself over the line to make a judgment call. And it was really cool to use it that way. Again, you're not going to use it and ask it to make the decision for you. It will simply help you get the clarity, maybe some fresh questions to ask yourself as you're analyzing all the data that goes into making the decision. So you can see it acts as an awesome clarity engine as well. The final part of the system is to simply use it. Use it as an execution mechanism for your life. Basically, as we said, like do your planning, hold your accountability when you hit a bottleneck. Use it to objectively observe a situation. Use it basically to eliminate the friction in your life. That's what I've been able to do with it. That's how you create the system. It's there to help with the momentum and to get rid of the friction. So that's the system, y'all. At this point, you know, I've been telling you my story and what I'm using. The thing that's kind of funny, a week or two ago, I met up with a buddy of mine. We decided to go on a ruck, and we were, you know, catching up because we hadn't hung out in a while. He's also working on building a profile as a fitness personality out there, and is trying to help people with helping to make better lifestyle decisions centered around fitness specifically. And we were comparing notes, like what we were doing to help our profiles grow and accomplish our goals. Lo and behold, we both were doing the same thing with AI. We both were using ChatGPT in this exact thing. We were using it to help us set goals, make a weekly plan, stay accountable. When we were hitting these bottlenecks and needed to make a decision, we were also going to ChatGPT. Specifically, that's the AI we both have chosen to use. And we're doing the same thing to help us objectively look. And what's crazy, both of us are seeing things open up and grow. And it was kind of funny how, even though we'd never discussed this, how similar the process was. And so, you know, it's not just me that's having success. I bet you know, some of your buddies that you're seeing winning are also doing this too. Now here's the part when building a system for yourself with the AI that most people screw up. We overcomplicated it first. You know, I had mentioned, okay, do your accountability session, those 4 things a few minutes ago. The reality is you don't need much to get going. You don't need a master prompt. You don't need some crazy workflow and structure. That will come with time if it's working for you. But just start simple. Basically, you know, I'm going to give you 3 questions to start with, so you can do it right now. No overcomplication, just easy, quick implementation. So here are the 3 questions you're going to ask yourself. I'm going to kind of look here, so sorry for the, I want to give them to you, but they're pretty straightforward. The first one is, help me organize the 5 most important things that I need to accomplish this week. Then the next one, what's the one thing I'm avoiding that would move my life forward? Last one, you simply say, hold me accountable. Ask me Friday if I followed through, right? Simple, then it helps you to stay consistent, and then let the system grow as you do. Again, you know, I started simple. You can too. You start with a couple little things, and then as it works, you let it grow and organize, and you can build that big honking workflow. Your 2026 self is not going to be built in January. It's going to be built right now in the systems that you choose. Now, AI didn't do this for me, but what it did was it made the work doable. It made the plan clearer, and it helped me to start executing on my dreams. Now, if you want to try this for yourself and go a little bit deeper, I built a simple cheat sheet with some of the master prompts that I use to get going. And if you would like that for free, just simply drop 2026 in the comments, and I'm going to send it right over to you. So with that, guys, let's make 2026 the year that you don't start over and over again, using these awesome tools that are at our disposal here in 2026. And with that, y'all, better every day.